Hi everyone. So it's already the half of the December, the last month of this year. How many of you have started planning out or started, listing the things which you want to do in the next year? It happens with everyone. Okay. Okay. And before that, I would request everyone to be on the camera. And today, I will be your Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Suraj Kumar. So great to see that even I can remember that I took a vow on the 1st Jan or in the very first meeting of this year, and I just can see that that vow has not been even touched, right? And that is something which I have to work upon. But let's start. Let me read the today's guidelines. So before I start the club mission and the guidelines and the general directions, I would read, or I will say, a quote by Tony Robbins, one of the world's leading life coach. Where focus goes, energy flows. So definitely, as we all will be planning for our next year, so if our focus will be towards achieving that goal, definitely our energy will flow in that direction. Talking about our mission to provide a conducive, supportive, and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. General directions for online sessions. Ensure that you are logged in with your correct name. It will help us to identify you easily. All speakers, role takers are requested to add the name of their role next to their name. All the guests are requested to prefix guest before their name. It can be done by clicking the participants tab to rename yourself. Know when your camera is on and avoid doing any activity that may distract the speaker. Please mute your microphone except when it's your turn to speak to avoid any background noises from interrupting the meeting. Please unmute your microphone and start your video when the Toastmaster of the day or the table topics master asks you to do so. Let the host and co-host handle all the controls. Sergeant at Arms guidelines. Refrain from speaking about religion, sex, or politics in a derogatory manner. Avoid interjecting the speaker when he or she is delivering a speech, evaluation, or report. Avoid conversation in chat publicly when someone is speaking, as it may distract the speaker. Please raise your hand to volunteer during table topics session. To speak, look out for the green, yellow, and red colored cards on the screen. They will be displayed by the timer at the appropriate times. At the end of every segment, please cast your ballot when the host displays the polls on the screen. With this, I will be also shifting on to another role as a presiding officer, and I would thank all of you to for joining the meeting of Toastmaster Club of Lucknow, and this is going to be 218th meeting of Toastmaster Club of Lucknow. I would request everyone to clap for yourself as you are in the meeting, and I would also request everyone to be on the camera if it's possible from your end. Now I would request a few. I can see not a new member. I have seen her joining even a previous meeting of the Toastmasters Club of Lucknow as well. But still, I would request Sia Agarwal to introduce yourself so that the other members can know who you are. Toastmaster Sia Agarwal.
Okay, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I am Sia Agarwal, a BB second year student and a member of SRMS Toastmaster Club. And uh, that's all from my side. Over
Okay,
to
thank you
you.
so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Uh, Toastmaster Yogita, would you please introduce yourself to the club members?
Hi, Toastmaster Suraj. I am taking the role of an evaluator in today's meeting, and I am a part of Leaders Speak Toastmasters Club. Been more than a couple of years since I've joined Toastmasters. Glad to have, glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us and taking the role very in the nick of time. That really means a lot to all of us. And with that, I would request today's Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Tanmay Singhal, who is a passionate graphic designer with a flair of visual storytelling. Tanmay brings a creative spark wherever he goes, with a keen eye for design and a growing interest in public speaking. He joined Toastmaster to not only refine his communication skills but also to step out of his comfort zone and grow as a confident and a great speaker. I would request everyone to give Toastmaster Tanmay a huge thunderous round of applause for taking up the role of Toastmaster of the Day. Toastmaster Tanmay, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, I'll be now starting my session. But before that, I'd like to confirm if I'm clearly audible and visible.
Now you are clearly audible and visible, yes.
All right. So now I'll start my session. Um, how many of you have heard of the poem by William Shakespeare, All the World's a Stage? Can you please raise your hand? Anyone? Okay, it was Master Akshat. Anyone else? Have you read it? Toastmaster Akshat, what do you think it is about? Could you give few of your uh,
Y-
insights about it?
Yes, I think I've seen that poem, though I don't exactly recollect if I have read it in entirety. But yes, so what that basically means is the first few lines is that this world is like a stage in which we all have a role to play. And
Mm,
very close to this saying is also one of the lines from a movie by Rajesh Khanna
yeah.
called Anand, in which there is a similar dialogue that, this world is a stage and we are Rangmanch ki Katputli. So that is, in
Mm,
short, the essence of this sentence.
yeah, that's absolutely true. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akshat. We have to go guest Yogita raising her hands. Would you please unmute yourself and share your insights with us about this poem?
Yes, Table Topic Master said, I agree with that. It's a Shakespeare poem written in play as you like it, right? And it simply means what he just said, that all the world is a stage and men and women are merely players.
Yeah.
Which means life is a play, humans are actors playing different roles throughout their seven. So actually, he meant seven stages from
Mm,
the childhood till the death. So
yeah.
we are only doing the temporary performative acts, and that is the nature of human existence.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely true. Thank you so much, guest Yogita, for sharing your insights. Now, I'll be just elaborating this with a few examples as well as a few that points that I have been studying for a while now through books, so that uh, we can understand it in an even better way. In order to do this, I have prepared one presentation. So I'll be requesting the tech master to please allow me to share the screen. Is it visible? Yeah. All right. So let us consider the claim by William Shakespeare as truth. Because it is true in his experience, we don't know whether it's true in our experience, right? So let us just consider if it is true, and this whole world is like a place, like a stage or a game, and we have to play it. That's why it's called a play, right? And every game has a rules, so we have to abide by the rules, right? So we'll just elaborate on this further. So these were the lines that were stated by William Shakespeare, as well quoted by Toastmaster Yogita. And if we consider the stage in reality or the game in reality, it is Earth, and the role or the role that we have to play is with our identity and the responsibilities associated with that identity. So here we are playing as Toastmasters, and as TMOD, my role is to convey to you few ideas related to the topic and can proceed with the session. So this is the way we proceed. Um, Now, I have just one question. All of us have dreams and aspirations as to we want to be like this person, we want to be like this person. But what do you feel is the difference between you and the people you aspire to be like? Like, is there any difference? Like, anyone would like to share their thoughts? Toastmaster Manvi, would you like to say anything?
Majorly, what I personally feel is people whom I personally aspire to be are the people who acted upon what they want to do. On the other hand, I just keep on aspiring or getting inspired by them, but the actions that are required, the consistency that is required, I personally do not have that. So maybe that is the difference between me and the people I aspire to be.
Okay, all right. Hmm. Well, all of us, now I'll just share what exactly is the difference between us and the people are aspire to be. Toastmaster Manvi covered an important point, and I'd like to just emphasize it with a really beautiful artwork I found on Instagram by one of the artists. I really loved it, the way they described the way our world works. So, if we consider this whole planet or our mind as a stage, it's a plain empty stage, blank. Okay, it has no. It is completely blank. There is no anything on, and in that stage there are small bubbles of energy which we can consider as our thoughts and feelings, which we repeatedly empower with our attention. Either they are positive or they are negative. If we empower them with attention repeatedly, they come into our reality. So that is what uh, the basic idea is, and the difference is between the people we aspire to be like and the people and us, that they had a clear image and visual in their mind, an idea that who they want to be. That's why a vision, and they just repeatedly paid attention to it till it became a reality into their existence. That is what manifestation is about. That is what dreams are about. That is what your our life is about. Fulfilling a goal in a way. I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but yeah, I hope you're able to understand this. I really found this pretty interesting. And whenever we attention to a thought repeatedly, uh, it starts getting bigger and bigger in our mind, and it starts getting sown into the soil of our mind, and it gets into a plant and then to a forest as the years roll by, and we get exactly what we ask for. Okay, so this is one thing. If you feel it's getting weird or any confusion at any point, you can unmute and ask me. But yeah, this was the thing. And one more point that I'd like to highlight is, without the um space, the empty space in which your thoughts exist, uh, your your circles won't, or the thoughts, these bubbles, they won't be able to happen. So empty space is very important. That's why in if you see most people in spiritual tradition and yoga, why they consider talking about peace and mindfulness, so that we have inner space in our minds and we can focus on things that we really want to do and manifest in our lives. So this was one thing. I'll be proceeding with the few more rules of playing every identity that you want to play in this world to the hilt. But before that, I'd like to state the rules of the game that we are playing right now, which is the Toastmaster meeting. And in this meeting, there are three segments. The first segment is the prepared speech segment, and in which we have one speaker today, Toastmaster Suraj, who will be delivering a prepared speech he prepared for a while now, I guess several weeks, and he'll be presenting it to the best of his ability, and uh, he'll be evaluated by a evaluator. Coming to the second segment, which is the table topic segment, in which there'll be a topic given to the speaker, and the speaker has to instantly speak on that topic for a specific time limit that our timer will be guiding you about. Lastly, there'll be a evaluation segment in which the general evaluator will be coming with their tag team role players and giving their report for the overall meeting. Now, I'd like to invite the general evaluator for the evening to and their team members, the tag team members, to describe their role in the meeting. So, Toastmaster Anup, over to you.
Hi, thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay, for the introduction and brief. So, sorry. If you can just remove the slideshow, that will help if it is possible. Thank you. Thank you. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Anup, and I'll be your general evaluator for today's meeting. And just to support me, I also have a tag team. So they'll have their specific role. They'll come and explain their role as and when they are called. Primary objective of this general evaluator is so that there's an evaluation in terms of your speech that will be getting through an evaluator. But same time, all the role players will be coming here, whether as a Toastmaster Tanmay is there, TTM is there, and subsequently there are a couple of other role players are also there. So my job is to evaluate the meeting in entirety and also share a feedback which can be acted upon, and all of us collectively can learn and grow from this. So today, just to support me, I have three role players who will be supporting me in terms of sharing the qualitative feedback, which will be more actionable in nature. So I have Toastmaster Suraj, who will be playing a role of R counter. Toastmaster Suraj is from Vaishali, Bihar. He's currently serving as a secretary. And he has served this club as a secretary, and currently he's serving this as VP Education. And today he's also playing multiple roles as a SA, as a speaker, and he's also our counter for the day. So over to you, Toastmaster Suraj, and if you can explain the role to everyone in group, that would help. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Toastmaster Anup, for inviting me. And once again, a very wonderful good evening to everyone present here. I'll be the all counter role player for today's meet. And when it comes to all counter role, I always like the speakers who use less unnecessary sound, and even it looks great. And even if I ask you that who is the speaker you have listened to and then you got impressed, you'll definitely find that they use lesser, curse words. And for that I will show you something. From that you can get some ideas about the curse words, and that will definitely help you to understand what are these words. Just confirm if my screen is visible. So filler sounds,
Yeah,
filler
Toastmaster
phrases,
Suraj, it is
filler
visible.
words, and body gestures. Yes, you might be a bit surprised, but these are some unnecessary sounds which make us sound a bit unnecessary, and at the same time that takes some extra time that might distract our audiences, and that also show that somewhere we are getting nervous, or somewhere we are getting we are forgetting our thoughts, or the script which we have to speak. So these are the words. Hope you you all have the glimpse of this particular filler sounds, filler phrases, filler words, and body gestures. I don't feel that I need to read each and everything. I just need to remove it so that you can see in entirety. And yes, you can see all the filler phrases. And now I will stop sharing the screen. So these were few crosswords, and I will be observing each and every one of you, and I will also jot down how many of you have used these crosswords for how many times. And at the end of the meeting, when general evaluator will call me, I will present my report. Thank you so much, and back to general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suraj, for explaining your role so well and also articulating it in a very structured way. So thank you for that. Now the next role player is Toastmaster Alex Jose Sebastian. Alex is playing the role of grammarian for today's evening. Alex describes himself as an easygoing and curious person who enjoys learning new things and taking on challenges. Outside of work, you can find Alex playing badminton or meeting new people and exploring new ideas. So that's all about Toastmaster Alex. Toastmaster Alex, if you can quickly come and brief about your today's role as a grammarian.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster General Evaluator Anu. So, um, I hope you can see my screen. Am I audible? Yeah, okay.
Yes, you are. You are.
So, so a very good evening to all my Toastmasters and guests who are present here. So, as a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any improper language as well as outstanding words, quotes, and saying of or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word and the phrase of the day. So today's word of the day is resilient. meaning the ability to recover quickly from difficulties, tough and adaptable. Sentence: despite multiple production challenges, the Hot Mill team remained resilient and delivered consistent output. And the phrase of the day is rise to the occasion, meaning to perform well when faced with a challenging situation. Sentence: how can you use in sentence? It's when the mill face unexpected downtime, sorry, the operators rise up to the occasion. Uh, yeah, that's it. Sorry.
Okay. So thank you, Toastmaster Alex. If you can remove the slides, right. Thank you so much for explaining your role as a grammarian. I would request everyone in meeting to use word of the day and phrase of the day more often. Now, moving from one person who loves interacting to other people to other person who also loves interacting and meeting new people, I would want to introduce Toastmaster Manvi. So Manvi rose to the occasion and she agreed to play a role of timer at a very short notice. So that's brilliant job, Toastmaster Manvi, and she agreed to play a role of timer for today's meeting. So Toastmaster Manvi is a biotechnologist turned into a psychology enthusiast. She's pursuing PGD in training and development from ISTT Delhi, which is a renowned institute for training and development. Her keen area, apart from meeting and interacting with new people, also lies in giving surprises. But I think today's meeting, she also got a surprise. She was expecting something else, and at last moment, it was changed. But Manvi was quite resilient that way, where she agreed to play this role. So, over to you, Toastmaster Manvi, if you can explain your role as a timer to group, that would help. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Channel Evaluator. No doubt I got a surprise today. And being the timer of the meeting, I would love to share one thing that every hour has its own value and do not wait for the right time. Use every minute. That is something that we might have heard from our parents, and number of quotes usually roam here and there. But today, in today's meeting, I would be helping you utilize every single minute, being the timer of the meeting. Being the timer, I'll be responsible for noting down all the timings that will be taken by the speakers, role takers, and I'll be sharing the report when the third session comes upon. Now, coming to the part how I'll be helping you. For the speakers, I have three cards wherein the green card will be shown at 5 minutes, yellow will be shown at 6 minutes, and the red will be shown at 7 minutes. For the table topic speaker, the time limit is 1 to 2 minutes, wherein green card will be shown at 1 minute, yellow will be shown at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red will be shown at 2 minutes. For the evaluator, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. For the green card will be shown at 2 minutes to the evaluator, 2 minutes 30 seconds the yellow card will be shown, and at 3 minutes the red card will be shown. Now there is a twist wherein speakers and evaluators do have a grace of 30 seconds on both the sides. The speaker speaks for 4 minutes 30 seconds till 7 minutes 30 seconds is qualified. Same goes with the evaluator. If the evaluator speaks for 1 minute 30 seconds till 3 minutes 30 seconds is qualified. But the table topic speakers only have the 30 seconds grace period on the above side. That means any table topic speaker who speaks for 1 minute, a minimum of 1 minute, and a maximum of 2 minute 30 seconds will only be qualified. So no indication will be given on the overtime period. So I'll request everyone to, as soon as you see the green, see the red card, to start winding up your speeches, because these 30 seconds actually vanishes in a blink of an eye. So time is not refundable. Use it with intention. And today, with the timer cards, I'll be helping you with it. So I'll be back with the timing report whenever the general evaluator calls upon. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manvi, for explaining it so well. And as Manvi rightly said, time is not refundable, and it is also. So there are two most potent and powerful weapons which are available with us. One is time, and second is patience. So both of them have their own role. But even in not only in Toastmaster meeting, but I think in general also, time has its own importance, and all of us are well aware of it. So I'm pretty sure that everyone in meeting will keep making a note of it in terms of the kind of timings which are allotted. So that's all from my side as of now. I'll be back at the closer or the second half of the meeting with the feedbacks along with my tag team. So till then, it's over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Tanmay. Thank you.
So much, General Evaluator for the Toastmaster Anu and the tag team for the wonderful rules and for describing the rule so well. We'll be now proceeding with the first segment of the evening, which is the prepared speech segment. And in this segment, we'll be inviting Toastmaster Suraj, the first speaker for the day, to give his speech. And before that, I'd like to invite his evaluator for the speech, who is none other than okay, so yeah, I guess the evaluator has not um, renamed themselves.
Toastmaster Tanmay, I have shared the intro of the evaluator with you on WhatsApp.
Yeah, got it. Thank you so much. No, I have the
Yeah.
introduction. It's just the evaluator had not renamed. No problem. So, the evaluator for Toastmasters Suraj is a soft skills trainer, an image consultant, and an HR professional with over 6 years of experience. And she helps people communicate with confidence and create impact. Um, Now I'd like to call Toastmaster Yogita to share the project details for Toastmaster Suraj's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Yogita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay. And my target speaker, Toastmaster Suraj, is going to deliver a speech title for the project Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. So, this timer, please note the speech length would be 5 to 7 minutes, and I'll come at the end of the session when called upon by the general evaluator with my evaluation. Thank you.
Toastmaster Yogita. Now I'd like to call Toastmaster Suraj for his speech. So, yeah, Toastmaster Suraj, uh, your speech title is?
His speech title is The Three Books of My Life.
Yeah, okay. Toastmaster Suraj, the three books of my life. The three books of my life, Toastmaster Suraj. Over to you.
I believe every mentor is a form of book, and his stories, struggles, and wisdom are the chapters that guide us. A very wonderful good evening to all your Toastmasters and guests here. Today, I want to share something very personal. The three books of my life. The three book people who have shaped me into a person I am becoming every single day. The first book, the book of vision and priority. For me, the book of vision and priority is Abhishek Gupta sir. He is my mentor. I remember my first interaction with him before 4 years, and I wanted to ask him a question, not to seek any answer, but to interact with him. But camera consciousness, lack of confidence, and self-doubt held me back. After gathering some courage during a session, I asked him a question. And to my surprise, he didn't only answer me, but also he prolonged the conversation and he filled me with so much positivity. And I could see at that moment that something inside me has shifted. I could see a sudden rise in my self confidence, and I was so happy. Later on, I continued meeting Sir during his offline events in Delhi and in Mumbai, and his training and learnings have been so much impactful and powerful for me. I can talk hours about his training and the wisdom he has shared with me, but today I will share one lesson with all of you. Once he asked me that what are the three top priorities of your life. So before that, let me ask you all, what are the top three priorities of your life? Anyone?
To lead a
Okay,
good, healthy, and meaningful life.
exactly. Thank you so much for the response. Abhishek Gupta sir told me, health first, learning second, and relationship third. Later he explained that if your health is not good, you won't be able to give full energy to learning and relationships. And when these collapse, your life starts moving downwards. And you may stuck into a vicious cycle of problems. People might complain that I don't have that much time, I lack time, and I have so many commitments. But let me tell you, if you focus on health, don't you think that it will help you to be away from hospitals and having a rounds with doctor, again saving your own time? Focusing on health will give you extra years of life. Don't you think that it gives you more time focusing on health? And that changed the entire way of my thinking. And he mentioned that we just need to focus on several simple steps on a daily basis. And this way, I learned it from Abhishek sir that the growth is not an event, it's a daily habit. The second book, the book of consistency. For me, the book of consistency is Asmita Kotkar, ma'am. In the Toastmaster, I still remember that how patiently she helped me to choose pathway to preparing the speech to take up different roles in the Toastmasters. And every conversation I have had with her, even during my SSB or during the speech preparation, her conversation left me with so many insights that stays with me deeply. Once she conducted a session on EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, and journaling, and later that she encouraged me to do it regularly and update her. And later I realized that it has become my habit. After doing it regularly, that still continues to shape me into a better version of myself. Asmita ma'am taught me how to build my own through the consistency. Third, but certainly not the last, the book of appreciation. For me, the book of appreciation is Miss Aarti. Let me confess something about myself. A few years ago, I used to be so shy, especially in front of opposite gender, till a moment changed everything. I was in an event conducted by Abhishek sir, and all the participants were told to sit in a buddy pair, and I was looking around, unsure. Suddenly, a voice said, "Who is Suraj? He will be my buddy." I was surprised but happy as well. The voice belonged to Artiti, and we sat facing each other as per instruction, and we were supposed to look at each other's eyes, and we were told to appreciate each other with gentle palm massage. I tried, and let me tell you, this was one of the most awkward moments of my life. Every time I tried speaking her, looking at her eyes, my gaze fell as my shyness was taking over me again and again. But after few unsuccessful attempts, I managed, and appreciated her. Later, she also appreciated me, and that made me realize that appreciation can be something which can change anyone's life. If we focus on even small things which are around ourselves in our environment, we can bring so much positivity. The way she appreciated me, that was fascinating. That helped me to know something unseen about myself. And that day I realized that appreciation matters a lot. The Toastmasters, all these three mentors are my walking and talking books of my life, whose wisdom, guidance, and unconditional support helps me to become the better version of myself. And with this, I would end my speech. Thank you so much. Back to Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Suraj. Can we have a round of applause for him for sharing his for the three books that changed his life for the better? So that's a great speech, Toastmaster Suraj, and I'm really happy to see how resilient you have grown throughout the journey. I was able to visualize that. So kudos on that front. Okay, so now we proceed with that is the table topic segment. But before that, I'd like to again share my screen and share few like rules with you. Okay, that with which you can play any game that you want to play to the hilt. So there are a total of 4 rules. And is my screen audible? Oh, sorry, is my screen visible? Am I clearly audible?
Yes, you're clearly audible and your screen were visible for some time.
Is it visible now?
Yes.
Okay. It would be very good if all of you can keep your cameras on. It would be helpful. It would make the meeting more engaging. Toastmaster Alex, Toastmaster Akshat. Okay. So, as we were talking about uh, this concept of every thought, every identity, every idea being a tiny bubble in our space of mind or the soil that we call our mind, we can consider it as a seed. So, how do we nourish it further? How do we play those identities, play those parts to the best of our ability? So, there are a total of 4 rules that you can employ uh, to every single goal that you may have in your life, in every aspect of life, be it your personal goal, be it your professional goal, be it your health based goal, or anything, that learning based goal. Toastmaster Surat said that he's learning, right? So here it goes. The first is, as you sow, so shall you reap. This is very obvious. I don't like. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But as you think, so it will happen. Whatever you want, say, like, I want to become this, and you work towards it, then it will happen. So, this is the first rule. The second rule is as within, so without. The way you think first on your mental plane is the same thing that will start happening in your physical plane if you repeatedly think about it. Okay. So let's say, uh, I'm. Have you all heard of Wilma Rudolph? She was a paralytic uh, runner, and her dream was to run in the Olympics. And she all used to just say that her dream was, I want to be the fastest woman on the planet. And she repeatedly told herself this. So, and got convinced that she can do it. She can do it. Once her will was convinced, then she put in the effort, and it really became a reality. So, that is how it works, as within, so without. The next is the law of cause and effect. It is the reinterpretation of the first rule, that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. As you sow, so shall you reap. And lastly, this is very important, this rule, that if you think in positive terms, you will get positive result. And if you think in negative terms, you will get negative result. So this is how it is. If you think about mango seed, you will have a mango tree. But if you think about something weird, negative, that is what will happen. So yeah, it's a two-way street. So it's up to us what we choose to uh, put in our mind, and accordingly we'll reap the same. And this is this exact same principle all successful people use in the world, be it billionaires, be it millionaires, be it sports person, be it any person who has achieved something significant in their life. This is the exact rule that they employ. So these are the four rules that you can employ to achieve any goal in your life and play any game that you want to life in your life to the hilt. And I hope these help you. And if you have any experience that you want to share, I'd be happy to know about it. Whether any of these, if you have previously applied before, Toastmaster Manvi, Toastmaster Anoop, Toastmaster Alex, Toastmaster Suraj, Toastmaster Akshat, anyone? Anyone? Okay,
Hey,
Toastmaster. Yes. Yeah,
that's
Toast.
absolutely correct, Toastmaster Tanmay. I think when we start thinking in a certain frame of mind, that always helps us to deliver similar kind of results. So if you have a positive mind frame, if you have a growth mindset, you will always you'll become more solution oriented, right? So I think that solutioning, that orientation always helps people, whether it is at personal life or professional life. So if you have positive frame of mind, you'll come across with some. I mean, that also helps you in a way. It improves your critical thinking, and that is quite powerful because that will help. That will always give you an opportunity to solve problems. Whereas if you don't start things in a positive frame, and if you start being too critical or too, I mean, if you're too critical about certain things, I'm sure that you'll always be surrounded with certain ideas, which will take over, and you'll feel that it is difficult. Does it even worth? And those kind of self doubts will always put you on backseat. So you'll always see in life also. I'm saying, if you take any example, there are a lot of people will have very brilliant idea in terms of either a business idea or any kind of social idea, but it is not those people. I mean, they might be the brightest also. They might not be the one who end up achieving those kind of results because they evaluate it too critically. They get into a self doubt and they are not on execution. Versus there is a set of people who will go and execute those ideas and keep building and improving over a period of time, and that is how they build success. So I have seen a lot of people in my close knit community also whom people always doubted, okay, whether they'll be able to do it, whether this idea is powerful, not powerful, is it making business sense, not making business sense. But all those people just kept thinking about it, whereas there were others who built on it. So it is absolutely correct. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Back to Toastmaster Tanmay.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anu, for sharing your insights with us. Guest Sia had raised her hand. Guest Sia, would you like to add few points to this?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I think that what you are saying is absolutely right. Personally don't face it, but actually I have listened from some people that if you think positive, the positive things will be happen to you. I think if you have listened about that story, that one girl and a tree, and in that tree there are some leaves, and it is shedding day by day, but and the girl was seriously very ill, and she is thinking about that when that leaves shed, her life also going to be end at that time. But that tree, at one leaf is left at the end of that day, and he she get hopes from it that if that leaf does not shed, he will absolutely be fine one day. I think that someone has listened about that story. So,
Yeah, yeah.
if you
Hmm.
think, yes, yes, if you
Go
think,
ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
I think the positive things will be happen with you. I think, and that's the most positive thing we can practice. That thinking of positive every day.
Absolutely. That's absolutely
That
true, Guest Sia. Yeah, yeah. You were saying one more thing.
that's all from my side. Over to you.
Oh, thank you. So indeed, Toastmaster Sia, if we rise to the occasion and have courage and faith to execute the idea that we have thought on a consistent basis and repeatedly think about it at the same time, till we receive uh, a physical expression, then it's definitely possible, right? So thank you so
Yes, yes,
much.
you're absolutely right. Actually, I listened that what we think in our mind, things get around us like that only.
Hmm. That is how it happens. All
Yes.
the gadgets, clothes, everything that we use, everything was first thought in mind. And we use, but we forget sometimes, like in my experience, I forget sometimes, like, yeah, this is something we used, but it's okay. We'll, if we want to create something new of our own, we'll have to follow the same process. So yeah, that's it. And now I'd like to start the second segment for the evening, which is the table topic segment. And for that, I'd like to call our TTM, which is the table topic master, Toastmaster Akshat Pandey. He is a seasoned technology manager and a tech enthusiast who hails from the vibrant city of Lucknow. Akshat spent his formative years in Lucknow deeply connecting with its rich culture and dynamic tech community. His extensive experience in managing cutting edge technology projects with his unwavering passion and resilience for innovation made him an invaluable addition to the Toastmasters community. So, Toastmaster Akshat, I'd like to invite you to the stage so that you can start your table topic segment. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay, for having an excellent theme for today. And I personally feel that you are nothing but your thoughts, and the way you manage your thoughts would decide what direction, what trajectory you would eventually take up. Today, I'm deliberately off cam because there's a lot of construction work going on in my background, so that is more of a distraction. So just forgive me for today for being off cam, and let me just introduce to you my role for today. So, as a table topic master, I would be giving to you topics on which you are supposed to speak impromptu. Your speech should last anywhere between 1 minute to 2 minutes, 30 seconds. And just as the timer mentioned, you would be shown a green card at 1 minute, and at 1 minute, 30 seconds, you would be shown a yellow card. And at 2 minutes, you would be shown a red card, which is an indication that you should look at wrapping up your speech. So that's the timing rules. And feel free to enjoy the experience of table topics. It is always good to speak on a topic, and that too impromptu. All right, so what do I have in mind for today? So just because a lot of these topics and the TMOT theme talk about a lot of virtues or attributes that we should be working on, which in a way would increase our resilience and would also help us rise to occasions or challenges in daily life. So, my table topics for today are also some of the virtues or attributes that all of us have experienced or believe that we should be working on those attributes. A hint for all of you is that today's table topics are just single words. So, there's just a word, and then you have to frame it up in your speech in such a way that you can exhaust your 1.5, 2 minutes, whatever you decide to speak. All right. So we are a small group for today. So I would first like to invite Toastmaster so that he could set the trend, and then I would go on to the guests. So who's going to be the first Toastmaster that takes up my first topic? Okay, so it seems to me, all right. Toastmaster Manvi is also probably nodding, and uh, do I some okay, Toastmaster Suraj also. So let me begin with Toastmaster Manvi. All right. Are you ready, Toastmaster Manvi? And can you see the timer cards? Obviously, you are the timer. All right. I would expect others also to just look at the timer cards. So Toastmaster Manvi. Now, now, Toastmaster Manvi.
I'll take up the membership maybe next week, next month. I'll do this task tomorrow. Mama, please spare me. It is very cold today. I'll do it for sure, but after an hour or after 5 minutes. My dear friends, these are the excuses that we usually make whenever we are asked to do something. Whenever someone comes up with a task and we don't want to do it because we are not in a mood of doing it. Whenever we are feeling lazy, we usually do is procrastinate with that specific sentence. And that is something that I usually do. Not every month or every week, but every single day when my mom wakes me up at a specific time. And I usually say, Mama, I'll wake up in 5 minutes. I'll be awake in 10 minutes. And the only sentence that I usually hear is, this is the same thing that you every single time say. Even if I'll wake you up after 30 minutes, you will say, I want to wake up, I'll be awake in 5 minutes. My dear friends, don't you think time is something that is very precious? And time is something that never waits for any single individual. So instead of procrastinating, instead of making things or being lazy, instead of saying, I'll do it in 5 minutes, I'll do it in 10 minutes, why not now? Why not take a single step, take a small step and start working on your dreams? Start working on what you want to be. And trust me when I say this, these small steps one day will be your success, will be the reason behind your hard work. And people will say the success happened overnight. They'll not see the struggles, they'll not see how many procrastinations you avoided. But taking a step now will help you achieve what you want to be. So, table topic master, I took that step now and took the table topic. Who will be your next table topic speaker? The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manvi, for highlighting so simply the various events on which you tried procrastinating, and yet you are advising everyone to not just procrastinate and work on something that you can do in the now. So great job. And yes, now I would like to move on to the next speaker. So I would like to invite guest Sia to be the next table topic speaker. So Sia, are you okay with that? So I can give you the topic.
Yeah, I am okay with that.
All right, all right. So guest Sia, patience, patience. Guest Sia.
Okay, give me 30 seconds for thinking. So, patience is one of the things that helps you in every difficult situation. With patience, you can handle even a most difficult situation of your life. Uh, you can maintain your patience or uh, practice your patience by keep practicing yoga and other mindful activities every 10 minutes a day, as it will be very helpful not only for your mind but also for your body, as it helps you for good blood circulations. And if you are relaxed, your mind is relaxed, you will be definitely a very good personality, showing that practicing patience is one of the good thing that you can also advise to others, as it is one of the thing that helps anyone. It is very helpful in the difficult situation of your life. um, you can maintain your patience by uh, reading some contents uh, in which there are very much difficult situations, and how other people's come came out with it, and how they practice their patience in their situation, in that situation, will be great to read about, as by following their ways you can also uh, find the way uh, in your life, that how you can practice them in your life and can be motivated and consistent to your life, to in your life, as you know, all the people in the life have difficulties. No one is there that who don't have any difficulties. So, what is your thought about it, Toastmaster Akshat? Over to you.
Yes, I completely agree with whatever you have said. And one of the ways in which you can probably inculcate patience is to probably breathe a little, slow down, and find times or slots in your daily routine when no one is dependent on you, or probably no one tries to decide your agenda. So that is one thing that you should look at, and look at ways to inculcate, as the word of the day says, resilience. And resilience in itself would lead you to patience. All right, so with that, we move on to the next speaker for today. And I can see evaluator Yogita. Would you like to take topic?
Sure.
All right. So I believe you are a Toastmaster, if I'm not wrong. So
Yes, I
Toastmaster,
am a teacher.
yeah. So Toastmaster Yogita, regret, regret. Toastmaster Yogita.
I want to start by asking a question. What is the first thing a child does when it's born? Anyone, please.
Right.
Cry.
Okay. Any other trials?
I think breathe.
Great. Toastmasters here. So, the only regret I have ever faced in my life is because I do not listen to reply, I listen to respond. That doesn't mean the answers you gave, Toastmaster Manvi and Toastmaster Suraj, were wrong. It just means we forget the basic things that comes prior. Eventually, until a child can breathe, he won't be able to cry. If we are talking about regret, there could be many regrets in everybody's life. But don't you think if we are all ears to somebody, the best part of that place, the best part of us being there, to stay there without any biases and avoid any regrets in the future? Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't do that. Oh, maybe that could have been better. No, charity begins at home. Reflection begins within yourselves. That's my take. What regret do you have, table topic master? Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yogita. I would say that we are almost at the end of the year, and December is a time to just let go of any regrets that you would have accumulated over the entire year. And to be honest, so far, whatever little I have read on regret, what most of the people would advise is that you should move beyond regrets, because the more you try to ponder over regrets, the more your mind would wander in so many different directions. And beyond a point of time, it all becomes useless and a mundane activity. So, thanks. That was my take. With that, I would now like to move on to the next mm, speaker. So, Toastmaster Suraj, ready to take the next topic?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Toastmaster Suraj, delete, delete Toastmaster Suraj.
People say that a normal individual or every human being has almost more than 80,000 thoughts in his or her mind. And when it was analyzed by a research institute, it was found that all those thoughts were related to mainly three things: health, career, and relationship. So, the main point is that when only these three things matter a lot or made us to think a lot, why don't we stop thinking or just delete all those repetitive thoughts and just focus on those few actions on a daily basis that can help us to shape a better health, better career, and a better relationship. For a better health, what do we need? Fitness का dose आधा घंटा रोज, right? We just need to dedicate half an hour to 1 hour of our time out of 24 hours. For career, throughout the academic, we must have realized, or even after academic life, we realize that what are the things we really like to do. And accordingly, if we skill up ourselves definitely we can land ourselves in certain situation where we can at least earn something. And for relationship, to find a better relationship, I think first we need to have better relationship with ourselves. And in that way, we can find that these three things are falling in right place. So when the things are certain, why don't we delete all other thoughts, which, I mean, 80,000 plus thoughts, which keeps us, keeps our mind agile and also thoughtful. And when we are not at zero state, again, we can't say that we are happy. So to find the zero state in terms of thoughts, we need to work upon this three things and let go of the other thoughts. Let's delete all the thoughts. Back to table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suraj, for an insightful take on this topic. Well, while deleting your thoughts may be a bit tedious work, but I think it's a thought in the right direction. And I come from a technical background in which I have been maintaining some databases. And what we like doing all the time is to delete unnecessary data from databases. Similarly, I believe that unnecessary unproductive thoughts definitely need to be curated and should be looked at being deleted. So that's a great take. Thanks a lot. With that, I would like to move to the last table topic, and I would request someone to pick it up. Who's going to be the last person to attempt a table topic? Anyone? All right. So we have our G for today, Toastmaster Anoop. And Toastmaster Anoop, here is your table topic. Toastmaster Anoop, hangover. Hangover, Toastmaster Anoop.
So primarily, hangover means staying with something little longer than required. So whether it is a hangover of alcohol or a hangover of any other thing with which you are stuck for a period of time which was not desired. So it's critically important that all of us take a pause, reflect on things. If we are staying back with certain areas, certain things little longer than required, we should cut it off. And I think, as you just spoke a minute back, that deleting things which are not necessary. Similarly, staying things which are not required for a little longer is also doesn't make any sense, and it'll always call unnecessary chaos at personal and professional end. So it's slightly important from that particular lens. So I if I had to give one example, like even when I was preparing for my studies, I, like Suraj, I was also preparing for army, but somehow I couldn't clear that, right? And that trauma, that toll took little longer than usual. It also ended up impacting my studies thereafter for a brief period of 6 to 8 months. And it also started reflecting on personal interactions. So I think that hangover of qualifying that particular exam and taking that too seriously and getting too attached emotionally, and giving all in that particular frame of mind, that always causes those kind of challenges. And it was required that I cut it across, and I was able to do that. I realized with some guidance, some mentorship, and was able to take it forward after 6 8 months. And I think that is, once that hangover was over, I was able to concentrate on things which were more meaningful, and I was able to put my life back on track. So it's slightly important that we deal with any kind of anger in an effective way. And once you do that, I'm pretty sure that you'll rise to that particular occasion, whatever is there just next to that. So that's all from my side. Back to you, table topic master Akshat.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anup. Wonderful thoughts. And probably in a way, your thoughts are very reassuring to all of us that, let's shed the baggage. And no better month than December to at least shed that baggage. So all these single word topics probably signify or tell us that we just need to cut down on the crap and then move on to the more proactive measures that we have been talking about, including the theme for today, that is TMOD's theme. So, with that, I think I'm done with the round of table topics. I would go back to TMOD Tanmay for the rest of the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master Toastmaster Akshat, for such a beautiful table topic session. And let's have a round of applause for our table topic master and all the speakers who participated in the segment. All of you managed to rise to the occasion and gracefully handle the topic given to you by our table topic master. So please pat on your back. Now I'd like to proceed with the final segment of the evening, that is the evaluation segment. But before that, I'd like to share few more ideas from my theme, which I found quite interesting, and also based on the speeches that our table topic speakers gave, they also gave me few ideas which I wanted to emphasize into my final conclusion. So overall, my basic aim throughout this TMOD session was to communicate to all of you that all of us are the masters of our destiny, and we have complete and total control as to where we want to put our time, energy, and achieve our dream life for, right? So how do we do that? I have given you a basic framework and a set of rules that you can implement into your life. As you sow, so shall you reap, as within so without. Law of cause and effect: every action has an equal and opposite reaction, be it positive or negative. And if you think in positive terms, you will get positive result, and if you think in negative terms, you will get negative result. So these were the 4 laws, and I'd like to add one more thing to this, based on one meditation course that I did few years ago, where they taught us one very important point that about our mind that I found it was correct. So there is no subtraction or division in our minds. Only addition and multiplication happens in our minds, right? So if like Toastmaster Suraj or one of the table topic speaker stated that they want to delete a thought. So it is not possible. We just have to redirect our attention to the right thought or right positive thought that we want to manifest. So if we focus on that, it will multiply. Coming to the very important point that I wanted to highlight, that our reality is ever changing and it is always dynamic, and there is nothing which is impossible. There is nothing which is impossible. The only thing that we consider as impossibility in our life is based on the influences that we receive from our external environment, be it through communication with other individuals, be it through inputs through book, videos, content that we consume through our social media. Based on those inputs, we try to create our mindset, right? So we just have to consider what we want and how to achieve it. That's it. And everything else will happen on its own. Leaving our comforts and habitual attitudes aside and repeatedly thinking about what we want. We can start with one thing, and once we achieve that, we'll get confidence, and then we'll achieve this next thing. This way, we'll build up our dream life. Okay. And there is one warning that I struggled to accept, but now that I've accepted it, I'm sharing with all of you that if you do not have a goal or a dream for a long time uh, in your life, then there are lots of external distractions and sources, organizations, uh, applications, devices that are designed in such an addicted way that they would steal our energy, our focus, and benefit themselves instead of allowing us any uh, possibility of growth, right? So, if you consider all the companies in this world, such as Disney, Netflix, YouTube, Instagram, considering the positive aspects aside, if we consider the stories that they share, they profit from our time, energy, and focus. So, if we, instead of if right now, if we are building our dream life, if we just focus on building our dream life, that is the way we can achieve our it. And last point that I wanted to state is this is also mentioned in two of the sources that I will share the link to in this Zoom chat, as to how to sustain the transformation, because it is difficult. Years of repeated behavior, it takes time to change. So, to achieve your dream, it would take a minimum of 21 days to a maximum of 90 days, 6 months approx, where you have to consistently repeat this behavior. And um lastly, the last 10 minutes of your before sleeping and the first 10 minutes before you, like right after you wake up, uh, if you can think about your dream in an intense way, that and what you need to do about it, the plan, then you will see it will manifest in your reality. So the first and last thought, deadline, plans, goals, their requirements. If you consciously repeat them for at least 6 months, you will definitely see a progress in your goals fulfillment. So this is actually proven. I will share all the resources that I have in the chat box. Two resources. One is the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, in which all the most successful people have shared their experience and methods to succeed. And the second is The Strangest Secret in the World by Earl Nightingale. These two actually work, and let's do our best to achieve it. And we can also conduct a challenge in which all of us can combine in a group and make it happen, make our dreams happen. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for everyone. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope this helps you in fulfillment of your dreams and goals. I'd like to now call our general evaluator, Toastmaster Anu, for the final evaluation segment. So, Toastmaster Anu, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay. So I would like to start with the tag team reports, and then I'll share my feedback on today's meeting and in terms of key role players as well. So let's start with the timer report. Manvi, in case you are ready, can we start?
Thank you so much, Sushma Sanu. Before I share my report or any other tag team role player share the report, may I please request you to call the
Right, right.
evaluator of these
Sorry,
people?
my apologies for that. So, thank you for reminding that. So, Toastmaster Yogita, if you can come across and share your feedback on today's speech, which was delivered by Toastmaster Suraj. And I'm sure Suraj will benefit out of your evaluation and he can work on that particular feedback to take it forward in his upcoming speeches. So, to you, Toastmaster Yogita.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Please pardon me, I'm not on camera. I've stepped out for a couple of minutes, and I was expecting the time to be around 5:40. Nonetheless, I'll give my evaluation. Okay, so my target speaker, Toastmaster Suraj. One thing that I've learned from your speeches, good mentoring is not about giving answers, but also about lighting the path. Your speech exactly paved the way throughout the course of the journey you have developed. It gave us glimpses of how mentoring shaped you both personally and professionally. What I really liked, Toastmaster Suraj, was you have a very engaging conversational style of delivery. So it feels very natural, almost like we were a part of one-on-one discussion rather than a formal speech, which keeps the audience hooked. So that's an asset. Your learning on health stood out very strongly for me, reminding us that mentorship is not only limited to career advice but also to overall well-being. And one more thing that I really loved, the last lesson about appreciation. It was so thoughtful. It highlighted how simple recognition can build confidence and trust. Also, you did mention something about the second learning as well. But what I felt, the way the first and the third was developed, the second learning was not developed that better. Spending a few more seconds on reinforcing it would have made your key message more complete. Now, coming to delivery, your resilience was commendable. You stayed composed and confident throughout the speech. I could gauge that you had forgotten for a couple of minutes, but it didn't come out with your delivery. You executed it really well, and which shows that you have a very strong stage presence. Now, I'll give you two recommendations from my end, which could enhance your delivery to another level. One area is please work on your eye contact. Your eyes, what I could see, your eyes moved around quite a bit. Like you were looking at the camera, then you were looking left, then you were looking at the camera, then you were looking right. So when we are delivering it in an online setup, please straight away look at the camera. That helps driving audience connection, because holding eye contact with one section of the audience for a complete idea, that will make your message land more effectively. Second, your voice was clear and steady, which is a good foundation. However, the pitch remained largely the same. If you could add a little more of voice modulation, specifically when you were highlighting certain learnings or while you were asking questions or making an important statement. For example, don't you think if we have health, then we have everything? You said something like that. And it came out as very flat. So when we do a little more of voice modulation, it was level up the emotional impact of your speech. Finally, the conclusion felt a bit rushed. I think mostly because of time constraints. While your content was strong, a sharper closing, perhaps by briefly revisiting your biggest mentoring takeaways or ending with a reflective line, like what is there for the audience. It would have left us a much stronger final impression. Overall, Suraj, very genuine, very relatable mentoring story. I loved hearing you out with stronger conclusion, more purposeful eye contact, and vocal variety. Definitely, your future speeches will be more engaging to listen, and I hope I could get another chance for that as well. Congratulations on completing the project. Over to you, General Evaluator.
So thank you, Toastmaster Yogita. Now we'll go to our tag team report, and we can start now with the timer of the day, Toastmaster Manvi. If you're ready, we can hear your report.
Thank you so much, Journal Evaluator. Give me a second. I'm presenting my screen for the report. So we started to be, if I have to start from the very start, we started 10 minutes late. That means the meeting started at 4:10. Sergeant at Arms, along with the presiding officer, Toastmaster Suraj, in total took 8 minutes 4 seconds. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Tanmay, in total took 31 minutes and 30 seconds. I have divided the specific segment along with the timings. For the journal evaluator and tag team into Toastmaster Anoop took 11 minutes 51 seconds. Toastmaster Suraj, as the prepared speaker, took 8 minutes and 13 seconds. Table topic session went for 20 minutes and 17 seconds. I was overtime, so my timing was 2 minutes and 32 seconds. Guest Toastmaster Sia took 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Toastmaster Yogita took 1 minute 43 seconds. Toastmaster Suraj took 2 minutes and 31 seconds. That again was overtime. Toastmaster Anoop took 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Coming to the evaluation, Toastmaster Yogita took 3 minutes and 29 seconds. That was all from my side as the timer. Thank you so much. The stage is all yours, Toastmaster Anoop.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manvi. So, in terms of speeches, annually, I think whatever we have seen in terms of table topics, I think largely people were well in time. Now, from there, let's move on to a report of our today's grammarian. So, Toastmaster Alex, if you can come across and present your report, that will help.
Yeah, so I guess my screen is visible. Oh my God. Hello. I guess my screen is visible. So let's
Yes, it
begin with
is.
good usage of words, which many of you have been using it. So to from Toastmaster Suraj, growth is not an event; it's a daily habit. Was a really good quote which he used in his speech. Awkward and then awkward and taking over and let go was some of the words which have catched. Um, then Toastmaster Tanmay, be a thought on its own, sustain the transformation was a beautiful quote. And from Toastmaster Anup, critical set backseat over the time over a period of time and stuck over a period of time was some beautiful quote used by our general evaluator Anup. And our Toastmaster, our table topic master, Mr. Akshat, has used some beautiful words like deliberate, inculcate, thought in right direction, shred that baggage, and cut down the crap. And our Toastmaster Yogita has used biases, and there is a beautiful quote which she has used. I don't know it's right. Reflection begins at home, and there is one more beautiful quote which she has used as good mentoring is not only about teaching; it's about lighting up the path. And coming to the count of word of the day and phrase of the day. So Toastmaster Tanmay has used one resilient one time and rise to the occasion two times. Toastmaster Akshat has used resilient one times, and Toastmaster Yogita has used resilient one times. So this is from my side, and back to you, General Evaluator Anup. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alex, for the detailed report and also highlighting it good usages of the meeting. So, brilliant job there. If you can just remove Toastmaster Alex this slide, that would help. Thank you. Thank you. Now, moving on from grammarian, I would like to invite Toastmaster Suraj, who has played multiple roles and also played a role of our counter for today's meeting. So, Toastmaster Suraj, over to you.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. And for today's counter report, instead of making it visual, I will be keeping it verbal. And I would highly appreciate Toastmaster Manvi, Toastmaster Anup, and Toastmaster Akshat for using very, very less cuss words and extra unnecessary uh, sounding words. And I would request everyone to give them a huge round of applause. And I would request other participants and guests that we can learn from them. What I could notice in other members, whenever we observe a lack of formed sentence in our mind, we tend to bring out some extra curse words. For example, if whether it was me or whether it was Toastmaster of the day or anyone, if we are speaking something and if we have already something scripted and we do remember that, then we just throw it out as it is. But when we have to speak it in a way that we are also forming the sentences and thoughts in our mind, and then we are trying to put it across, then at that time what happens, there is a gap in the thoughts, like what's going on inside the mind and what we are expressing, and that gap make us to use some crosswords. So if we can bridge that gap, and if we can do some brainstorming activity, for example, if we practice more TTM intentionally, or if we can put ourselves into a situation where we have to be spontaneous, then definitely this will help us to use less unnecessary sounding words, right? So for example, you just have noticed that I used because I had not a formed sentence in my mind, and just to complete the sentence, I needed to think a little about that. And there, just to bridge that, as soon as the gap got created, to bridge that, I used I know. So just to avoid that, we can better choose to keep ourselves mum for the time being, and then we can use the word or the thought which we are actually uh, wanting to express. So again, kudos to Toastmaster Manvi, Toastmaster Anup, Toastmaster Achat, and for others. And at the same time, as an evaluator, Toastmaster Yogita, she did a wonderful job as using very, very less uh, crosswords. So again, kudos to her as well. And others, I would say that Toastmaster Tanmay, even I myself, Toastmaster Sia, we can learn a lot from you people. So thanks a lot. Back to General Evaluator.
So thank you, Toastmaster Suraj, for that detailed feedback, and I'm sure all of us will reflect on this and try to improve on it further. Toastmaster Sia, you had some point?
Before moving ahead, I want to ask some queries. Can you help me with that?
Yeah, go on.
Actually, in English speaking, mostly use filler words, and my count were always 15 to 20. So how can I improve it? Can you give me some advices? And also, when I speak English, I also forgot English words that what I should say now. So can you please help me with it?
Okay, so see, I can share my take on this. See, English is not our primary language. So it happens that at times what happens, we think in, we generally think in Hindi and then we translate and then we speak. So there's always a lag. And that is where all these crutch words starts. So one thing with Toastmasters, that repetitive uh, acknowledgement of this particular process that we are using crutch words, that in itself start helping all of us. Now you are more mindful once you hear these kind of feedbacks, the way Toastmaster Suraj has talked about in Toastmasters meeting. Similarly, once you're a regular member, I think being aware is the first step in that process of improvement. So you get to hear that how often you use crutch words, how often you use filler words, and in these meetings you also get to hear what is your specific word. At times we are also not knowing it, that this is my filler word. I have been using it more frequently. So I think identifying that is the first step, and once you acknowledge that, okay, this is one of the area where I had to work upon, you will start figuring out how to improve on that. Now once you have acknowledged that this is one area where I had to work, probably you can reflect on some of the speeches whom you believe, okay, he's an outstanding speaker or mind-blowing speaker. What is their style? So even if you reflect, I mean, for example, just to quote Atal Bihari Vajpayee, one of the very famous orator in Hindi, if you just go and reflect, he used to take pauses, right? And those pauses were not, it never felt that it is going long enough and it is not making that impact. But within those pauses, he was thinking what he's going to talk about in terms of the kind of words what he's going to use, the vocabulary, what he's going to talk. I mean, the uses of words, the uses of sentences, that has always helped. So probably we can take pauses, but it has to be little we need to be little mindful on that. so that it doesn't break the rhythm, and we can start working in that area. So I think once you have started acknowledging here that this is one area you need to work upon, I'm pretty sure that you have started your journey towards improving in that. So that is the first step, and I'm pretty sure that you'll figure it out how to build on it further.
Okay, thank you for your valuable insights. I will surely work upon it.
Right. In case anyone wants to add anything, because she is very new to club, in case any of you have anything to add on this, I would surely welcome that.
Okay.
Toastmaster Yogita, Toastmaster Alex, Manvi, anyone, if you have any take on this question. Okay. So, okay. Sia will try to figure out if somebody has any feedback, they'll reach out to you in chat box. Now, moving on, my feedback on today's meeting, as I think Toastmaster Manvi has already highlighted, we started a little late. But this was primarily a couple of members not joining well on time. I'm also guilty one. I'm also a party to that. So I think all of us need to reflect on that area so that we can start well on time and can contribute to a meaningful meeting. So that is one thing which I felt in terms of timing and starting of the meeting. Now, moving on to role players, I think Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Tanmay did a brilliant job in terms of identifying a relevant theme and then working on it, and he kept it quite engaging throughout the time frame. So he also talked about in terms of identifying a couple of books and making it more actionable, how we can work on that theme. So that was very nice. uh, Areas where he can work upon, I think, in terms of introduction of evaluator, he struggled, although it was available with him on over WhatsApp. So that is one thing what he can also work on. And then introduction of speech title also for the speaker, I felt there were some glitches which can be dealt with. So that is one area which I have in terms of feedback for team mod of the day. Now, moving to TTM of the day, I think Toastmaster Akshat did a brilliant job by aligning his theme of table topics with the theme of the day, and in a very innovative way, he figured out couple of words which are meaningful, and all the Toastmasters present in today's meeting could take those topics and could speak on those topics and could deliver a very impactful and powerful speeches, right? So brilliant job on that front. And Toastmaster Akshat was, I mean, he managed that session very well. Between Toastmaster and Table Topic Master of the day, they managed time well so that we can conclude well on time. I saw that Toastmaster of the day had close to 15 slides. Now, on one slide, usually you're going to take 2 to 3 minutes, but he tried to time it in a way so that everything can be accommodated well. So I think brilliant job by both of them on that particular frame. Now moving to Toastmaster Yogita, I think she gave a perfect feedback. I mean, in terms of feedback, she followed the CRC approach throughout this, where she talked about in terms of commendation, recommendation, and again she concluded with couple of commendation. One feedback, I think, if for example Toastmaster Yogita shared her feedback for Toastmaster Suraj in terms of areas of improvement, she talked about voice modulation and making a closing line impactful, right? So if she can also give some example in that particular time frame in these areas, that will help speaker to reflect on it in a very in a action oriented manner. So for example, I was just going through a couple of codes. So even on mentoring, since his speech was more on mentoring, and Suraj talked about couple of mentors he has been throughout his last couple of years. So I think in terms of when Toastmaster Yogita talked about having an impactful closer, probably Suraj could have closed with something like, every great achiever is inspired by a great mentor. I have just started my journey. And so I think these kind of powerful quotes always leave audience with some kind of impact and people can resonate it well. So that's all. And in terms of my tag team, I think all of them had done brilliant job. Toastmaster Manvi took a note of every single minute and second in a detailed way. So brilliant job on that front. Toastmaster Suraj also talked about detailed feedback in terms of our counter people and taking a note of it. Toastmaster Alex also kept and shared the good uses, etc. I think one area probably a lot more people have tried to use word of the day, which was not captured correctly. That is my take. I think it at some point in time it was missed from his end. So that could be another area where you can work upon. Otherwise, it was quite engaging and fruitful meeting. So that's all from my side. Now, Manu, if you can just take the votes in terms of best, I think best speaker, we just have one speaker for the day. Now, in terms of other role players, if you can just take it from here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Journal Evaluator. I hope the polls are visible.
It
I
is.
have
It is.
launched a single poll wherein we have three nominations there. So I request everyone who is there in the meeting to please cast your vote. In the meantime, Toastmaster of the day is not there. No worries. The theme of the day was the world is all a stage, if I'm not wrong. So today the stage was all ours, wherein someone spoke about about his mentors. Someone spoke about the regrets and on the impromptu topics that were given. Why not make it a consistent effort wherein we all come on this stage every single week, share our views, take roles, and make it a more happening meeting? So, with this, I conclude on behalf of Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Tanmay, and I'll hand over the stage to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Suraj. Toastmaster Suraj, the stage is all yours. I'll be sharing the poll results on DM.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manvi, for filling in for Toastmaster Tanmay as a team out, and it was a great take. And I would thank each and every one of you who, because of whom the meeting has seen a successful completion and has come to a point where we can say that we have had really a great meeting. Again, the meeting where we are actually struggling. So I can see the resilience of the Toastmaster Club of Lucknow. And I do think as a member of the Toastmaster of Club of Lucknow and especially as a VPED, I think that resilience will always be there, and the resilience, our collective resilience will help us to rise to occasion. And I would thank General Evaluator Anoop for taking up the role as soon as he joined, though it was a surprise for him. It was surprise for Toastmaster Manvi and other members. Again, Toastmaster Yogita, I thank you a lot, as that you just saw the masses today itself and you opted for this role, even if you were not you were busy somewhere, then you came and I could see that how you were panting while you were speaking. You were introducing yourself during the initial time of the meeting. So thanks a lot. And Alex always comes in the meeting again because uh, I can see his consistency. I really appreciate his consistency. And again, Tanmay has become the, the backbone of the TMCL. Whenever I think for the last, few meetings, he has been preparing all the flyers and spreading it in the group and doing all the things. And he had also, I also appreciate the theme he has taken today, and he has talked very well about the energy, and it was very well resonated with the quote I used initially: wherever we will focus, the energy will flow in that direction. And I would thank him a lot. And again, thanks a lot everyone for being in the meeting, and thanks a lot to Osma Samani for giving that idea that even if we have less member, we can come up with something interesting. So that I will keep in mind, and will ensure that uh, Sunday does not go without doing anything. Now I have the results for today's different roles, and first I would name for the table best table topic speaker, and if someone can guess it's good. Otherwise, I will name her name. So it's Toastmaster Yogita, and for the best table topic speaker. So please give her a huge round of applause. Toastmaster Yogita, you are the winner. Congratulations. Next auxiliary role player, it's none other than Toastmaster Manvi, who has timed everyone, and she used very great code that time is not refundable. So that is something which was quite good. And main role, it's as a like Lionheart, best Lionheart role player, that is tie between the two best role takers, that is general evaluator and Toastmaster of the day, and we can understand it. So congratulations Toastmaster Anoop and Toastmaster Tanmay for having this recognition. Yeah, thanks a lot, and thanks a lot Toastmaster Manvi for launching the polls and again showing the certificates to all of us. As I am the Sergeant at Arms, so I will be shifting from the presiding officer's role to the Sergeant at Arms role, and will end the meeting officially. Thank you so much.